Okay, back with it. Master Bruce CB here with the second half analysis for the game two. Warriors tied up with a 107-88 victory over the Boston Celtics. And the game was much closer than the score entails in the first half. If you only watched the second half, it would have seemed like it wasn't really much of a game. Second half, the Golden State Warriors definitely played with a sense of urgency, played at a different pace for sure. They definitely found a way to tap into an offensive efficiency that, just steamrolled the Celtics. The Celtics didn't come to play in the second half. They didn't match the Warriors' intensity. The Chase Center was just too much for them, and they were able to overcome. So again, the Warriors were up 2 going into the second half. The second half started with a lot of sporadic play back and forth, a couple turnovers before Jaylen Brown gets a layup. Robert Williams was moving like himself. They alluded to it on the broadcast. It's going to be interesting to see if Robert Williams is able to finish the series. Had surgery in the first round, I believe. He missed some time. He's been missing time off and on throughout the playoffs. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to continue his play, to play at all. And really, he looked worse from the second half. In the first half, he looked like he was moving a lot better. So it wasn't just that he came into this game looking bad. I believe in the first quarter, it wasn't just too noticeable. But in the second half, he was definitely noticeable in him. So shout out to my man Sky. He asked the question if maybe they're giving him some of the Brandon Roy, in the sense of not comparing Robert Williams to Brandon Roy skill-wise, but in the sense of, remember Brandon Roy had an injury and had surgery during the playoffs and played eight days later. So we're gonna take a look at Robert Williams' career going forward to see if maybe this is a turning point. The Celtics did pay him already, so he is a valuable asset to them. I don't think they would let him play if they believed it was more than just something that would just go back to the original injury. I don't think they would have him playing if they thought that it could be more severe than originally what was suffered. So we'll see. The Celtics continue to turn the ball over. The Celtics turnovers were a big part of this game. Their offense was very broken at a lot of times. A lot of their scoring was one-on-one. They weren't flowing together. Clay hit a 3 off a screen to make it 59-52 Warriors. The Warriors get momentum after they go up 10, and Clay gets a layup. And then Looney blocks Looney. That looked like it hurt Robert Williams. Robert Williams on the ground again. Looks like he got caught up after Looney blocked Smart. I think Smart may have rolled up under Robert Williams. Wiggins come down and gets fouled to make it a free throw to make it 11 points. So again, the game is still close. It was a great play off the dribble. Jaylen Brown off a pick and roll. Those are off the dribble to. Those are beautiful pass off the dribble to Horford to end their run. Ime Udoka gets a tech to make it 12 points. Brown missed a couple shots to start the second half that I thought, had he made those, maybe would have gotten him back to the hot streak that he started the game with. He definitely struggled. The Warriors were still up 12 with 5:32 left in the third. Granted, it was, like I said, it was still a game. Williams 3 to cut it to 42. Grant Williams hit a 3 with 4:42 left to cut it to 9, before Tatum hit a 3 to cut it to 6 at 68-62. So again, it still seemed like the Celtics were still in it. Seemed like there was still a chance for things to go well. Then Porter hit a 3 to go back up 9. And then Curry hit a deep 3, really deep 3 off the dribble, off the corner 3. Tice off a screen, didn't step up, which is a foolish decision. Mark Jackson made a funny joke saying, if you're not going to step up on the screen, you might as well be sitting next to me, which is true. If you don't step up on that screen, you're giving them a free shot. That's a layup. The Warriors won an 11-0 run in total to make it 14, 76-62 with 2:29 left in the third. And Curry hits another deep 3. Tatum goes 1 for 2 from the line to end the run. With about 1:24 left, Grant Williams forced a turnover on Curry on the baseline, and then Tatum goes 1 for 2 again, and that cuts it to 15. I thought that was the opportunity maybe for them to, show some life. if Tatum makes both those free throws, that makes it a 13-point game with about 124 left in the third, which is still a manageable game. It's not just, it's not just completely out of there. But then, the game goes by, the game goes back and forth. Golden State starts to pull away again. Poole with a nice assist before making a three to make it 20. And then White missed a three. Then Jordan Poole hits a three from the deep end. That boy had a flotation device for sure, because he definitely was out there in the abyss. The crowd was into it. The crowd was in a frenzy. Shout out to my man, Mikey Zorro. It's like a frenzy. The Celtics were outscored 35-14 in the third quarter. So that's really where you lose the game. They were 4 for 17 from the field. Can't win many games like that. You can't really win many games when you're shooting that bad in the quarter, especially against a high-powered offense. A high-powered offense, again, they scored 107. I predicted in our shows with my man, Dang Father, on all social media platforms. I predicted that the Golden State Warriors, as a high-powered offense, they're not going to score less than 107 points. And even as you see, even in the game that was basically over to start the fourth quarter, they still were able to score 107. So, and I brought that point in contrast to the Heat. They were able to squeak by the Heat in a couple of games where they weren't scoring big, because that's when the Heat's woes. The fourth quarter starts with a Gary Payton II steal and tough rebound and finish to make it 25. His impact was very felt. His impact was very felt. He definitely played hard. He might be throwing a wrench in my Kuminga prediction, because again, when I made that prediction, I wasn't even sure if Gary Payton II was going to play with the injury he suffered early in the playoffs. But he gives a lot of what I was saying that Kuminga could bring, just a lot of intangibles. The guy that just plays hard every second on the floor, runs hard, plays great defense, unselfish. So those intangibles against a team with athleticism helped take out Marcus Smart a lot of the game. Marcus Smart had a terrible game. So Gary Payton Jr. was the second. Is it the second? I'm sorry. Shout out, no disrespect. But so Poole definitely kept swimming in his points off turnovers, made it 93-64 with 10:45 Celtics timeout. Game pretty much ended at that point. No Celtics starters on the floor. Klay Thompson and Green both on the floor with 7:09 up 25. Klay took a nasty spill with 6:13 left before making 2 free throws. I think that was a little more just to try to get Klay back in rhythm. Wasn't having a great game. Hasn't been having, besides the elimination games in the game 6, Klay, he hasn't had the greatest playoff run this series. This playoff run. So definitely trying to get him hot. The game got so out of hand. Luke Cornett got into the game and even scored. Shout out Luke Cornett. Extending the streak of former Knicks to make it to the NBA Finals. I can't wait for the Knicks to actually make the NBA Finals, but it's neither here nor there. Curry had 29 on 9 of 21 shooting, 5 of 12 from 3, was a plus 24. Poole went 7 of 17, 5 of 9 from 3. Klay, like I again alluded to the struggles, 4 of 19 for 11 points. Wiggins had 11 and 6 big rebounds. Again, it felt like every time Andrew Wiggins got a rebound, it was in a big spot to either get an offensive rebound or, something like that. Brown ended with a tough game after he finished with only 17 after the hot start I alluded to. 5 of 17 from the field. That's pretty tough. Jason Tatum had 29 on 6 of 9 from 3. I like Jason Tatum the way he played tonight. He did have a lot of stretches where he was kind of lost on the offense, missed a couple shots. It happens, but I would have. When Jaylen Brown went out with those early fouls, that really changed the whole momentum of the game, because again, when you get them both rolling at the same time, this is a whole different animal than when they're taking turns. And tonight, due to that foul trouble, it kind of was a take-turn moment. Al Horford, Marcus Smart, and Robert Williams all combined. They combined for 6 points. It's not going to win many games like that. They're not going to win many games like that. So again, maybe you can look at if you're the Celtics, you can say to yourself, all right, we were able to win this game I'm sorry. We were able to compete most of this game without Horford, Smart, and Williams contributing offensively. But then again, listen, when you lose 107-88, I don't know. So let's dive into some of the numbers. The Celtics were 30-80. The Warriors were 39-86. So took 6 more shots, made 9 more shots. They both were 15-37 from 3. Rebounding, Celtics won by 1, 43-42. Again, I alluded to, like I said, the Celtics, they do present a lot of good things, but when you, I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. The Warriors had 15 steals to the Celtics 5, and then subsequently had 33 points off turnovers to the Warriors 15. Points in the paint, 40-24. So that's your game right there. You know, when you have that many turnovers, 15 turn. I'm sorry, I didn't write the turnover number, but that disparity of points in the paint, as well as points off turnovers and steals, the Warriors just play with more efficient basketball. They play to win, played as a team, tied the series up. But the Boston Celtics, they are still, was a little house money winning game 1. You flip the home court advantage, so technically they don't have to win a game on the road again. If they win all their games at home, they will win in 6 games. So if you're the Boston Celtics, you have that to look forward to. If you're the Warriors, you're probably saying to yourself, yeah, they got us the first game, but when we do what we do, maybe think of the Javonte Davis trainer. When we do what we do, shout out to Baltimore. We do. They're going to play their game. They're able to, score efficiently. They're going to score in the high. Like I said, 107 plus, and they'll be able to win. So we're going to see what happens next. We're going to see what adjustment is made, how the Celtics come out, things like that. Be on the lookout for future endeavors or future coverages with my man Dank Father on all social media platforms. Going to be on Spotify and YouTube. Master Bruce CB. Check us out. Don't home me like you don't know me. Send it to a buddy. Share it, like, comment, subscribe. If there's something you want us to talk about, something you want us to tackle, let us know. We're here for you. And we appreciate you.